Hi, my name's Jesse. For the past decade, we've explored the southwest of the United States on old motorcycles. About once a year, sometimes twice, we load up and we take motorcycles from the 70s, 60s, maybe 50s, and we find a piece of the Southwest we want to explore. We take a week or 2 weeks, and we kind of just wander aimlessly. We wake up in the morning, we look at a map, we find a direction, and we head that way. We break down a lot, and we meet a lot of really amazing human beings. And so, up to this point, I've never recorded any of it. And I thought, maybe other people would find this interesting. So I did. I recorded the parts that I remembered to record. And I hope you find this as much fun as I did. We had a blast. This was a really good time.
You ready, Tyson?
I am ready.
We gonna break down soon?
Not until we get there.
Day one. Everyone looks happy. Look how happy this guy is. He's gonna ride the chopper. What do you think about riding the chopper?
I'm scared.
Good.
And I know it's gonna hurt.
Tyson looks pretty confident that it's gonna run. And in the process of trailering my bike, we fucked up the handlebars. I fucked up the handlebars. So I've got like one sad droopy bar and one up happy bar. So we're off to the fucking Harley Davidson dealership as the first thing to buy a pair of $800 handlebars. So that's the beginning. Everyone's clean. Everyone knows where their shit is. Everything's organized. Nothing's broken. Everyone's happy.
I have a general idea where my stuff is.
No one's sad. Okay, update. How's your kidney?
My kidneys are fine. My balls I'm concerned about.
Update, Tyson.
My bike runs really hot and sometimes dies.
Did you fix it?
Probably not.
Check in day 3. How you feeling?
You know, I feel like I'm 68 years old. Living the life.
Air comes from the main power that goes to the back of the switch. This wire with the translucent bullet connector on it is the headlights.
Oh, that's how you can tell it's headlight, because it's translucent.
This wire, right? This wire with the opaque is the ignition. So plug that one in and you just get ignition and no headlight. Plug that one in, you get headlight 2. When I should put electrical tape around there.
It's fine. How did it break? Why did it break?
Because it's a cheap Chinese switch. And when you turn it, I don't know, whatever is happening, there's like spring-loaded contacts or whatever, and there's like a plastic back where all the connections are that's connected to the metal body, and it's just pushing the back out. So it's no longer useful.
And it failed.
So
Nice fix. That was like a 15-minute fix. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah.
You cranked that shit right out.
Yeah, I'll be parked at somebody's house and they'll be like, "Oh, Kelly, your bike's leaking oil." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's when it stops leaking is when I get worried."
right. It's great.
actually have to give Ty credit for this. I thought about doing something like this, but I didn't know how to do it. And Ty told me about a stunt guy that used a inner tube for cushion under his seat. So a wheelbarrow inner tube is the perfect air ride for a rigid Honda chopper. It takes all that back snapping jerk out of a pothole. Fabulous.
Beautiful. Let's see it in action. Give it a little squishy. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Good job, guys. Roadside engineering.
That's right.
All right, day 4. What day is it?
I don't know, I think it's been about 2 weeks.
We stayed here last night in a KOA. When we pulled into town, we met this really nice guy named Ross. His wife is the manager?
Yeah, something like that.
It's a
I know
man.
he mows the lawns.
He mows the lawns, and they hooked us up. They just let us stay at this fancy ass KOA for free. What they didn't tell us is that this is the windiest fucking place on earth. This is it's about all you could ask for in the world of RV parks. Look at all those things. All those people. Little tiny houses. All living the dream. All trying to stay out of the wind. Oh man, I saw the funniest shit last night. In this Platinum Edition RV, there was a woman who was just absolutely trashed trying to climb in through that door. She made it. It took about 4 tries to get up those steps though.
I'm adjusting my muffler.
John's doing some muffler fine tuning. You find the magical trick to make that thing work?
We had fuel issues that I think were related to the clear coat that I put around the neck of my thing. So we took the carb off, we cleaned the carb, we put a new fuel filter on it, we cleaned out the tank as well as we could, we cleaned the petcock, we put it all back together, discovered that when I took the accelerator pump apart, I wiped it with something bad like brake cleaner or lacquer thinner, and that ate that. So then all of a sudden I put it together and it's pouring gas out. So we had to take that out, make a gasket to plug that up for the time being until I could find a new accelerator pump diaphragm. Put it back together. We put a new throttle tube on, which should work for now, and dial it in, and now we're crossing our fingers, and everything should be safe, at least for like 50 miles.
Yeah, and it's less windy than when we started.
That's positive.
And you did some stuff too, right? You got some shit done?
I tightened up my exhaust.
We're sleeping in a shed. It's a sweet fucking shed. It's outside of a bar. I can't remember where we are. Clark, Wyoming. Through the shed window, you could see the inside of the bar.
Gas station, bar, restaurant, post office, service station.
We showed up here around 5:30 last night, and it was starting to get really windy. So we sat at the bar for a little while, and the nice guy at the bar told us that we could that we could sleep in this little shed back here. And after last night, or I guess the night before, that sounded really good because the wind out here is a son of a bitch. The people at the bar told us that the wind here gets up to 130 miles an hour. And so we slept in this little shed and it was pretty nice. And then we woke up and they 7:30, they had a pot of coffee on. They made us breakfast burritos and breakfast sandwiches. I think all the bikes are running. My bike's running. It felt especially vibrating on the way here, but I think that was the chip seal road and not the motorcycle. Tyson, how's your bike running?
It seems to be running good. My battery seems a little weak right now, so we'll see if we start it without the jump pack, but it's gonna be fine.
Sweet. John? He's making a run for it.
My bike started pretty good this morning, and I don't really have any concerns about the performance of the Honda.
Nice.
Yeah.
When's the last time you changed your underwear?
That's a personal question I'd rather not share. It's not anything to be proud of. But I do have one clean pair left. I'm kind of holding off for a special occasion. You never know. Maybe we get in an accident, I can slip some clean underpants on before the ambulance gets here.
It's a good idea. So we do have this weird shit going on is all three of us for the last 2 days have been waking up with our eyes almost totally swollen shut. And I don't know if that has to do with the cadence of how often we're changing our underwear or not. But
It might be stress related.
it might be stress related. Oh, and we're headed towards a spot that on the map on the phone says there are a bunch of flood warnings and maybe road closures, but the map, my paper map, doesn't say anything about flood warnings and road closures, so I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be amazing.
Day 5, Billings, Montana. Somewhere, some intersection over there, the little sporty decided that it was not going to run anymore.
Run or start.
Why should I do it?
I don't know why. Well, if the bat bites you and you're not wearing gloves, then you might get a bat disease.
Why should I do it?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't think I want to catch the bat. And if I were you, I probably wouldn't want to catch the bat
I
either.
think you're a wise guy.
Thanks, man.
Where are you guys from?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh,
Where are you from?
right here.
Born and raised? This is a nice town.
We just got here, but we like it.
Can I have all the mess?
Yeah,
You can have it all, man.
I'm hungry, man.
There's more ketchup too. If you want more ketchup, I think it's this.
What are you doing here?
Riding motorcycles.
Yeah, we're just passing through. We're just
Passing
spending the night.
Harvey Davidson.
What's that?
Harvey Davidson.
Yep, we are riding Harley Davidsons.
So he was born in '59. I gotta tell you, he's kind of a hippie.
So where are your girlfriends at?
So my dad,
My girlfriend is in LA right now, but she lives in Albuquerque.
long-bearded hippie kind of guy.
My girlfriend's in Albuquerque too.
Where's that?
Grand Theft Auto.
New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Kind of by New Mexico, kind of by Texas, kind of by Colorado. Have you ever been to New Mexico?
Is it U.S.?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. U.S.
You like Joe Biden?
Okay, day 5. I think it's day 5. It's not rainy. It's not windy. It's really nice right here. I slept well.
I still have swelly eyes.
Tyson, Tyson still has swelly eyes. John, do
Yeah.
you still have swelly
I
eyes?
still got swollen.
Do you understand why the eye swelling happens?
I think it's the 100-mile-an-hour bucking wind.
Yeah, yesterday was pretty rough. I think we did about 2 hours in 50-mile-an-hour wind. We found a cowboy at a gas station who told us about this little camp spot. It's part of the city's park, and it's a really nice little camp spot. The weather was perfect. We went to the bar last night and met a guy
Who's a Hutterite?
who was a Hutterite and had to catch it.
bat.
Was told to catch the bat that was loose in the bar, so he asked to borrow gloves from us, but in the process ended up eating the rest of our food, which was pretty okay.
We only have a week to get back.
We only have a week to get back, and
We're pressed for time.
our going rate of about 12 miles a day makes a week
Puts
of
us under a lot of pressure.
I'm stressed out, man. I want to know about your motorcycle.
Well, it's a 1974 Honda CB750 original chopper.
Anything else?
Um,
Do we know where the frame came from?
no, it's a custom frame. The whole thing was probably built in the 70s. Picked it up in Winnemucca, Nevada, at a bike event, and tried to ride it home. Didn't make it, but it turned out to be a pretty nice ride.
How long have you had it?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 15 years.
You know, what trick shit have you done to it?
Well, I had to rework the exhaust. I put, the Mikuni carburetors, electronic ignition, and the regulator and electrical had to be gone through. And the latest, of course, is the wheelbarrow inner tube air suspension.
yeah.
So, yeah, you run about 3 pounds in there. And
Did you
it's
buy
got
that from
a stock Harley FLH seat for touring.
And your
The girder
handlebars.
front fork does not have any suspension at all, and it's a rigid frame.
Unscheduled maintenance stop. Training started not shifting down from third to second. It's been weird the whole trip, but I looked and it was getting real shiny in there, so we did an oil change on the tranny, put some royal purple fancy stuff in there. I think we're good. We're back on the road.
Well, Tyson is having issues with his bike, and he told us that right before he got to town here, it was running roughish. And I'd never really heard that term before, so I think it's one that we should hold on to and put into the Harley dictionary.
Roughish. Is it smoothish the other side of roughish? I think smoothish. I think my bike's running smoothish, except for in third gear it goes.
Well, that's a whinish. That's a
That's
whinish.
whinish. It's more whinish than it was. I mean, it always whined.
Well, there's a whine and there's whinish. Is whine worse than whinish?
Whinish. I think wine is full blown.
Oh, that's
You don't want to
full-blown
ride
whine.
it
That's a
anymore. Like
full-blown
rough, like roughish. You're like, I'm not sure if it's the road. I'm not sure if I'm just too sober. Rough, you pull over.
Well, maybe these thicker earplugs solve the noise sounds, and then if we all got wheelbarrow inner tubes, we could get rid of the vibration in all the bikes.
I wonder if I put a wheelbarrow inner tube around my head, if it would absorb all the noise sounds.
You might need a truck inner tube.
One for your head, one for your ears.
The Michelin Man. Now, we pull the plug and put your plug on and see if you get any spark there.
Oh, did it change when I did it or no?
No, it's dead. That rear cylinder's dead.
Hot, shit's hot. 129 miles. We did 129 miles.
He's just floating.
That man is hurting.
Yeah, it's hurting.
He walks that way because he hurts.
That's exactly right.
I have no compression in the rear cylinder.
It's one day after the last one. I think we're at 7.
Really? Good thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to admit my ignorance here.
Ty, what day is it? How many days?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Today's day 7.
Day 7, I was right.
We're halfway
Oh,
through.
I got the wall.
Yeah, that's right. If you could have the wall talk, that's fine.
Day 7. Well, we're in Belt, Montana.
Belt, Montana.
Why was it named Belt?
Something to do with mines and
Oh, the fan.
fans.
There was a fan. This actually during the Industrial Revolution. In this town,
They invented
Robert
the belt.
McBelterson invented the belt in 1812. Robert McBelterson invented the belt.
Really, the belt?
The belt.
Big
Yep,
time.
yep. And the trousers.
I wonder if that's why the little bicycle is belt driven up in the bar.
That's a
The
really
ceiling.
good thought. Yeah, at
It
the
was probably his bicycle.
The world's first belt.
in the town of Belt, all the people are named Robert Smith. Or at least most of them.
Most of the ones we met.
Most of the ones
Or
we
all
met.
the ones we met.
All the people we met are named Robert Smith in the town of Belterton. And
They're related.
all related. Tyson's motorcycle is not as happy as it probably could be, as it only has one
Yeah, it's
functioning,
one functioning cylinder. So yeah, it's resting.
And so in about an hour and a half,
Robert
one of
Smith,
the many Robert Smiths is going to show up with a pickup truck, we think.
take us 20 miles to Great Falls, Montana, where we start the quest to figure out if we can fix my bike or what's wrong with it and if we can get parts to fix it. Which might be a long shot, being that it's a 1972 Ironhead Sportster.
Tyson, you going to make motorcycle noises?
Vroom, vroom.
What? Sip and Dip Lounge. Funky old school cocktail lounge with a tiki theme showcasing swimming mermaids behind the bar.
Where?
Here.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I had a Harley like that, had the front end on it
Yeah.
back in 74, 75.
This is a 72. You don't have a bunch of Sportster parts in your garage, do you?
I do not. That's what I had, was a Sportster.
You know anybody who does have rides?
I got rid of all the stuff. Is this a Sportster?
Yes,
This is a Sportster.
Oh yeah.
Where did that washer go?
Yeah, it's got that funky shift on the opposite side.
guys?
We've been all over.
Yeah.
We're having so much fun.
What state you been?
We've been in Wyoming. We've been in Montana. We've been in New Mexico. We've been in Colorado.
Lord of mercy. You've been in the road in Colorado, like on the mountain?
Oh yeah, we've done lots of roads on the mountains in Colorado. Where you been?
Louisiana. We passed by there like June 1st, I think. Scared me because my boyfriend pulling 42-foot camper and he's taking the left side. And it's raining. Come on, man. Get on the side here.
I bet I could get like a really high number of sandpaper at Walmart right there.
You're at like, what is it, 360 or something?
Or,
Six-
you know, like 500, 600, 800.
600. Yeah. That's what I would do. I would just clean it up. I think it was worth opening it up, even though we got to deal with the gasket.
So what you do is you get the sticky tool and you go push, 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 and then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
You make it stick again.
And you try to make it stick again, and then you go push, 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 wiggle, 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 and then it doesn't stick. We're using the very finest of Permatex valve
Finest
grinding
of
compound.
valve grinding that we could get at AutoZone.
Well, folks, new and improved for your lapping pleasure, Permatex valve grinding compound 836.
Oh, we're still lapping.
We found some really important information when we were reading the instruction manual for the valve lapping process. John, what did you find out?
Caution, always wear safety goggles. Look at that hole, the pit is right in that area, so it's traveling from the low spot through that pit. You really don't have any seat. The pit's right there. See that? The pit is part of the failure. It's right in the area.
Yep.
So it goes through that bad spot, through the pit, and leaks. I really kind of wish we had a drill.
Put the valves in, fill the combustion chamber with gasoline, look for it to leak. If it leaks, blow onto the intake and exhaust holes, and you can see where the bubbles come from.
I've never seen that done before.
I've never seen that done before either. Most people probably don't want to put their mouths on that thing, but
why?
We're rough. We're living it.
All right, so, well, we had how many little pits in here when we started? And now we have
9 million.
4.
Introduction to Dirtbag Camping 101. What you need for Dirtbag Camping is a broken down Sportster or a being adjusted Sportster. Lots of bags of parts. An exhaust pipe. Many children in carts. A shovel head with pants on it. Wholesome families doing wholesome activities. A biker with a big beard and no shirt. A Honda chopper. A pile of tools on the ground. A ball peen hammer. An air mattress. More children in little carts. A helmet. A trash can for Pabst. A workbench, including ultra black and valve grinding compound.
The gas tank is full of gas.
A water bottle that looks like all the other water bottles but says gas on the top. Carb cleaner. Of course. A gas tank full of gas precariously perched on the side. A valve and a valve spring in a bag. Freezer bags. See the discussion of parts earlier. A magnet. A rented valve spring compressor that clearly will never be returned to the store that it was rented from. A tarp. A hat. And Tyson. Everything you need for dirtbag camping right here. You're welcome, KOA. We love you. Hey, Fireball.
Thank you for letting us stay even after we told you that we're on motorcycles and we're going to work on one and we need a shady area. And it was only $20 a night.
This message brought to you by KOA. Do you know what the fuck KOA stands for?
Campground of America.
All right. Well, I feel like if there's anything, if anything says America, this says America. You know what Tyson was just asking for? Wishing he had. I bet you can guess.
A valve grinder?
Hand cleaner. John, we were there, and John was like, "Should we get him hand cleaner?" I was like, "That's not on the list."
They're like, good hand cleaner.
So it was you that.
Oh yeah, no, I totally fucked you.
Thanks.
So Tyson, how long do you think you lapped yesterday? 4 hours?
At least.
Now, see how the gentleman very carefully laps the valve with the marker, black marker, on the surface of contact. We have very little concern about over grinding since this is all being done by hand out in the jungle of the Amazon. Holding the valve with his left hand and grinding with his right. It's a three-hand operation.
Hold on, let me make sure that valve's all the way up.
Oh, there you go. That was our problem, I'm sure. Oh,
my paper. Now we're way too far in,
but it should see just fine.
There we go. Next.
Who's going to be the next in line for heartache?
The key is not dropping the keepers under the picnic table where they will never be found again.
I think they're in.
The checking of the leaks.
Oh yeah, like we can blow through it. We could try the blow through test.
Watch this, watch this.
Watch this. Tyson, get your mouth all the way around there.
I can't tell if I can blow through it or not.
I think you're gonna need the bubbles.
All right, let me go get the gas. Yeah. You guys set up the upright.
Yeah. We'll get the upright.
The upright with whatever you got to use to make it upright.
So, Professor Dr. Bland, are you gonna explain what's happening here?
Yeah, we're using a valve grinding cup to stabilize the spark
plug. This is called Roadside Maintenance Shit Show.
Just remember, everything's got to be kept sterile. All right, we're back. Now, we're applying gasoline into the freshly ground valves to see if we have a leak.
Well, we did get it pretty level.
And if the valves are tight and the ground properly, we're not going to lose any gas at least in 12 hours.
I got to go get the...
But we're going to speed that process up to about 3 minutes. And we're going to blow into the orifice and we'll see if we have bubbles coming out. But if we don't have any moisture coming into the exhaust or intake, then we know that we're in pretty good shape. But it's really dark.
The problem is it's dark in that hole.
dark in that hole, and it's dark in that hole.
There's no wet in the dark hole.
Oh, looky there. No moisture in the hole. This is like a mechanic's dream. Yes. Oh, looky there. How about the other one? No.
Can't see that one.
No moisture in the dark hole. We have an intake, exhaust, dry, dark hole, and exhaust. You know.
Okay, do I want to blow through it?
Oh, this is sexy. Blow the exhaust hole.
What? Not a bubble.
No bubbles.
I think we're in business, boys.
Not a bubble. You blew that hole good.
This is romantic head stuff.
Tyson is in the process of cutting gaskets with a ball-peen hammer. To cut a gasket with a ball-peen hammer, you put the gasket stuff on the thing you want a gasket for, and then you hit it with a ball-peen hammer.
I don't know. This one might not leak oil anymore. That'd be weird. The other one will feel weird.
Here's wipey wipies if you guys want them. This was my chance to poop inside your bottom end and I missed it.
Damn it.
Oh, a fucking leaf just floated past, bounced off and didn't go in.
That's probably more important than my hands being clean, is that there are no leaves inside of your fucking combustion chamber. On a little.
Where are they? Well, there's two. Where's the other two?
Hydro locking with assembly lube is never a good thing.
Hello.
Ooh, perfect. Hello, guy.
You're so cute. You're so cute. You little turtle head.
Right, then we shove we have those inside our things and then everything shoves in. And we try to get everything to scrunch together in a manner in which Nanny would be proud. Oh shit. God damn it. Sorry, we gotta do it again. I just spent a day, almost a day and a half, 2 days, tearing the top end off of my rear cylinder and lapping in a slightly burnt valve. And now we're starting it for the first time. So let's see how it goes. Here goes nothing.
I want to get a good shot of the rod coming out the side of the motor.
Oh, there we go. Ignition is good. But we're in for it still.
How do we expect comparison to turn over?
Motherfucker. I should have just left it. But it should still start.
You want the ball peen hammer?
No, I
don't want to take my goddamn carburetor apart again.
That's easy compared to what you just done.
I know. Where's all my garbage? See if shit's wet and turn the fuel off.
Get up in the morning and that's your coffee field. I don't have Instagram on my phone
Come on, Dad, let's see it.
Probably because I was on the document.
Someday wake up with clouds falling out. When trouble melts like lemon drops.
Day 8. Day 8? I think 8. We're finally ready to leave the KOA. Tyson has completely rebuilt his rear cylinder. His bike's running good. My bike is hemorrhaging transmission fluid. The Honda continues to have absolutely no problems.
Anything that we don't have room for, we just tie it on the top.
Just tie it on the top. We're starting to get pretty disorganized. Slightly beat up. A little bit sleepy. Life is good. So we just left the campsite after rehauling Tyson's bike. Like we got a sticky needle valve in the carburetor.
Man, I might be able to take the bowl off and play with the float.
I like to take my bowl off and play with my float. What do you think, Tyson?
I think we can fix that in like 5 minutes.
It's okay. It's going to take me 5 minutes to put oil back in my transmission. I had the sweet idea to not take the freeway, and so I took us down. It wasn't quite 17 miles of dirt road.
No, it was like 10,
It was
11.
probably only 10 or 11 miles of dirt road. It was actually a very nice dirt road. And John handled it like a champ on the Honda Chopper, although he was going very fast. Which is less bouncy, probably.
Oh, we still got 25 PSI in that tire, and the valve stem
Hasn't torn off yet?
no, but it looks like when I rode it when it was super flat, it may have drugged a tube of a hair.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's gonna be great.
No one's ever died from
It's
a
only
blowout.
gotta go like 400 more miles.
If we go the directions that I've been taking us so far, it might be more like 2,000.
Well, we'll go slow, so it'll be easy.
We're in Helena, Montana. It's looking a little bit like it might rain on us, but it's very pretty. That was a beautiful Exxon station. Ty's rear tire is losing air at a fairly alarming rate, but we'll keep an eye on it and we'll keep on pushing forward. I don't know. We came out of somewhere.
Nowhere.
Nowhere, Montana, and the sky got super dark on the west side and just rolled in the meanest, dirtiest thunderstorm. And so in a haze, we pulled over at a KOA where I made a stupid decision to pay them $65 for a tent site.
With no shelter of any
With absolutely, they told me it had the most tree coverage, as you can see. This is the fucking tree coverage. So all of us ran as fast as we could to assemble the tent city.
And then it quit raining as soon as we were done.
And then it's really, really nice. Just the moment we finished, the rain cleared, everything's good. So note that we have 3 picnic tables. We have three picnic tables, 1 long piece of wood, 13 bungee cords. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
He wants to wipe the oil off his bike.
Tyson wants to clean his bike with John Stowell.
See, but I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anyway because I'm soaked. Thanks, Montana rain.
So it's raining a lot. Our shit's at the KOA that we spent $60 for. John went to go get fix up flat because Tyson's tire is fucked. Things aren't looking so good right now. I think we're gonna see if we can find a hotel that has vacancy.
I think a hotel would be amazing, and it sucks that my tire is flat. Again. Again.
And Tyson's sad face.
You guys are too old to. You should know better than this. That's what I'm thinking. You guys are both upstanding, successful young men. Why would you let yourself get in a situation like this?
It's pretty fucked up out there. Because the tarp, we can't survive in the tarp in this. Are you kidding? None of us are tough. Fuck, I bet it's a giant swimming pool under that tarp right now.
At least on top.
Nice, sloppy, muddy swimming pool. Tyson, dressed like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man with the helmet.
Because I know what the nice girls love.
Tyson is off to go ride through the puddles to fill up his very flat rear tire in the rainstorm.
Beautiful rainbow.
Valve core will get kind of jammed off and it'll won't go, and then you just sort of and it straightens back up and seals. No dice. Took out a little screwdriver, tried to straighten it up, helped some. I'm like, I'm gonna take this fucker out. I take it out. There's no fucking O-ring on that valve core anymore.
Oh, so you just need an O-ring?
It must have just gotten rotten, and then when I put that air on it, it just blew it right through. So I think if we go to the auto parts store or whatever they have, Ace Hardware, and get a valve core, that will probably fix my tube.
A valve core will fix your tube?
I think so. You know, the little...
You think the valve core is just bad?
Yeah.
I think it's probably what was leaking all along.
Maybe.
Did you check it?
I never pulled the valve core out all the way.
I mean, you lick it and see if it was leaking.
No, see, I don't have those old school.
That was the fucking. There's your fucking problem right there.
Maybe we'll see.
Well,
but
yeah, if it's not sealing,
valve
if
core,
it wasn't
yeah.
sealing, it probably wasn't sealing all.
if it was starting like cracking or whatever
Yeah.
and just getting worse and worse and worse every time I
Fucking.
aired it up.
You could have got that at any of the hardware stores.
Yeah, so Ace Hardware should have one in the morning.
Yeah.
There's an auto parts store here. If they don't have one, they
I would
will.
have lent one out of my wheel barrel inner tube.
Oh, damn, you're holding out on your valve, your inner tube valve core. So it's day 10. Tell me about day 10, Jesse.
Well, we're in Three Forks, Montana, and it rained on us a lot last night. We made a tarp city, but then decided that the tarp city was a really bad place to sleep. Also, Tyson got a flat tire, and so we
did get a flat tire.
We
Why did I get a flat tire?
Act of God, I think.
I'm pretty sure it's because I reused an old tube.
John might have opinions on
Yeah.
why you got a flat tire.
John,
I
why
tell
did I-
there's absolutely no question why you got a flat tire. You never put a new tire on and use an old tube. You know that it was old, very old. So you probably, you know, that tube probably made you like, you know, a couple of cents a mile versus buying a new tube.
No, I had already bought the new tube. The new tube's at my house.
Yeah, but you still have a new tube.
I do. I still have a new
You
tube.
just wore out the old tube and kept the new tube for when this one wore out.
That's right. And it's not on my bike. It's in my garage at home, which is like 1,000 miles away. So it does me no good.
So that was day 10. There might be some loading up the tire and driving it to Bozeman to get it changed, and then driving back.
Hopefully that happens.
And it's will clearly rain on us today, and also we need to figure out how to pull off a rear tire. So that's day 10.
Hey.
So Tyson fixed his rear tire with goo, and now we're in Bozeman at the bike shack where they are going to change Tyson's tube. Why don't you tell us about the best way to find a place to sleep when you're a dirtbag on a motorcycle and it's getting dark and it's getting cold?
Well, you always want to start your search early. I may give yourself, prior, maybe an hour and a half before sunset. Because the worst thing that happens if you don't know for sure where you're going to be sleeping is to be trying to find that place after dark. Although, every place, you can sleep any place after dark. So there is that advantage. But, if they can't see you, they won't complain about it. So if you can find a place that you kind of weasel into some little cove or trees or behind some shed, shack, or under an old truck, that works really good. Cowboy sites they work really well because they kind of understand. Sometimes you just gotta rest and you gotta make do with what you got. But if nobody sees you, nobody's gonna complain.
So it's the end of day 10. My bike has a new tube in the rear tire thanks to, I don't remember what it's called, but the nice guy that did it, his name was Seth. Bike City? Bike stuff? Bike, I don't know.
Bike Town, I thought it was Bike City.
Maybe Bike City.
So tell us about day 10, John.
Day 10 now?
The end of day 10.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not raining yet, but it's probably gonna rain later. We're right next to the road with our tent city set up-ish. And now it's dinner time, yeah?
I can't wait for dinner.
There's also a mild flood happening right next to our campsite.
Oh, yes.
But
There's a small flood.
There's no reason to be concerned as
There's standing water there. There's standing water in that shady spot right there. Very close to where Tent City is, but it should be good.
John's got his life raft out, just so he doesn't wash away. Jesse, how do you feel about frogs trucks?
They're garbage. I think they're owned by the KOA Corporation. They just, if you go faster than 12 miles an hour on your motorcycle, they absolutely shit the bed. Full blowout. I got to watch it firsthand, witness firsthand Tyson's full blowout of the back of his frogs.
But my thighs were so warm.
Disposable rain gear.
What you gonna do?
I'm looking at this big old wet log and thinking about throwing it on the fire.
This one? How wet is it?
Well, it's wet enough to keep it from burning too fast.
Log, fire. John. Log, fire. John. Oh, good Lord. Fire.
Mushroom marshmallows be ready in just a minute.
Tyson. Fire.
Wet log. John, look at the contentment on John's face. He's very content.
If you're gonna do something, do it big.
That's a lot of fire.
She's starting to flare up.
Engineering test. Does the tarp protect the sleeping bags? It's raining. It's dry underneath. There's absolutely no wind and it's raining very lightly. We'll see what happens as the night progresses. Look how fancy you are with your protected motorcycle. All right, let's hear this story.
Okay, so Jody was telling me this story about raising a hog. And this hog was ready for butcher, and they're huge. They're huge animals when they are full grown. And it was a summer day, hotter than hell, and he gets in a battle with this hog trying to load it up into the truck or trailer or whatever. And Jody cops an attitude, and this hog cops an attitude. And Jody's adamant that he's going to get this hog into the trailer. And I guess he fought it for so long, eventually, it could have been him having a heart attack as easy as the hog. But the hog has a heart attack. It's like, 110 degrees, and they're out there wrestling with each other. He's got this rope or whatever. I don't know how he had this. I'm sure it's a rope. Trying to get this hog into the trailer, and the hog refused to go. And then, those hogs probably, I don't know how many hundreds of pounds, but they're huge. Classic Jody story.
It's good it was the hog and not Jody.
Yeah.
This dude just, with his big ass RV, backed over the chopper. Didn't look behind him, ran right over the chopper. Busted off the exhaust pipe, busted off the kickstand.
Who knows what else?
Who knows what else is fucked up?
Built, as far as I know.
You're totally legal, right?
Yeah.
Bike's totally legal? Yeah, I think we call the cops. Get an accident report.
And then I call my insurance company.
Then you call your insurance company and
And
say,
they just got backed into. I've been in an accident.
So you just seeing guys trying to get it towed, or are you gonna?
I think he just
Yes.
the insurance company says to call them if you're in an accident, right? Just following protocol. Figure out how we resolve our next couple days, right? We have a long way to go.
Where are you heading?
We were headed back to Green River.
Green River.
Yeah.
The Honda bit the dirt.
The Honda bit the dirt. What happened?
Well, I parked over here out of the way in a parking spot,
Parking spot.
and there was a really large motorhome parked up there. And while I was talking to Jesse at the pump, he said, "Hey, that guy's running over your motorcycle." He backed up and ran over the Honda.
I don't have great compression on the back cylinder, but I have some.
Will it start?
It'll start, and it'll run. So hopefully it goes 180 miles.
Just 180 miles to go.
So here we are at the Welding shop. Bike's using a log to stand up. This nice welder man is gonna fix it. Gonna make it all right. Gonna make it better. Day 12. Nice welding shop. Tyson's torquing the head.
I'm stripping my motorcycle down, taking the exhaust off, and gonna get the kickstand welded and the exhaust welded back on.
Why do you have to do that?
Because I got ran over yesterday. Big ass motorhome ran over me.
Because an RV ran over you.
So we're at the welding shop. This guy says he can weld the kickstand back on.
My broken saddlebag.
There's a broken saddlebag, broken heart, broken soul.
We shall survive.
We shall survive. The fishtails are looking kind of sad. A little cattywampus. We're using a log to hold the dude up. Any other thoughts, John? Anything? Did we learn anything? There's nothing we learned from this, is there?
Be prepared.
An RV just may run you over. Barber Welding Shop did a fucking bang up job. Honda looks better than it ever did. John looks happy. Applying zip ties. I think we're about ready to hit the road.
Tyson, tell me about your motorcycle.
It is a 72 Ironhead Sportster. I put the tins and the seat on and an electronic ignition and a voltage regulator, and that's pretty much it. And it's doing pretty well. We had to do some serious surgery, and it's kind of acting up a little bit right now when it's hot, but we are going to squeeze 120 miles out of it and call it a victory. That's our goal. And I think the little Sporty is gonna give me 120 miles. Little Sporty's got it.
S&S carburetor,
Yes.
drag pipes,
Drag pipes.
little tiny battery.
Little tiny lithium battery. Oh, I put a new starter on it too.
New starter,
Which probably needs to be replaced again.
alloy, Evil Knievel wheels.
It had an alloy on the back, and I found an alloy for the front. It had a rusty chrome one on it.
That's a big ass disc. Is that
Is that stock?
That's the stock disc. It's a later front end. It's from like a 74 to 76 or 77. And it's a new disc, and I replaced the pads, and it still doesn't stop very well.
But does it rattle?
It rattles like you wouldn't believe. It's like a maraca.
Like a maraca. Fancy little custom seat.
Yeah, that's a repop of an original early Sportster single seat, and I made a custom rear bracket for it.
Oil gauge?
It had the oil gauge on it when I got it, but that's a newer one than the one that was on it. And the only time I've ever seen it move is when it's like 40 degrees outside. It'll show you like 4 pounds per minute.
And heat tape on only the rear exhaust.
It burns a hole in my pants. It still does it anyway, so maybe I need to maybe I'll beat out a little aluminum heat shield. That would be cool.
Does it leak?
It leaks. It still leaks oil. I don't know from exactly where now, but it leaked a lot when I had the push rod covers on wrong.
Oh yeah. Hey, like I say, if it wasn't there for people like y'all, I wouldn't make it this far.
So
man.
I'm gonna set you up to where you can go either direction. It'll turn on, and then the center is off. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Works for me, bud.
Day 12. Last camp spot. Same camp spot we started in. Kind of a shitty little litter box. We're right next to the freeway, making a bunch of noise. But there's a shower here. And shower's a pretty good thing. We have a beautiful sunset.
And there's a lot of beautiful country north of here.
And we know
It's green, man. I saw green for 10 days. Just beautiful
11.
green. Rolling grass, hills, and
All right.
green forests.
it's true. It's true.
And lots of wind.
Then there's a lot of wind. There's a lot of rain out there.
Yeah.
There's some pretty vicious RVs out there that are tracking you down any moment. There's a lot of lapping compound out there to be had.
Lots of good people.
Lots of good people.
Don't believe what the television tells you.
Lots and lots of good people. People are so generous and so kind and so willing to take time out to help people who are in need. It's a pretty amazing thing. And these motorcycles ran like champs. All three of them. They each one had their own little hiccups, their own little concerns, and all three of them made almost 1,500 miles.
So the primary challenges were burnt valve, carburetor leak, and transmission shifting.
That's right. That's right.
And getting ran over.
Getting
And a flat tire.
And a flat tire. So what'd you learn, Tyson?
I learned that chemicals are pretty amazing. That
Fix flat.
no, it wasn't fix flat. It was
Slime.
Slime will fix a valve stem issue, at least enough to get you 40 miles down the road to the next town. That a mechanic will go out of his way to get you in and get you on the road as quick as possible, which is very generous. When that guy was super slammed in Bozeman, I learned that you always tape off the filler neck of your tank when you paint it. Otherwise, you potentially have carburetor issues down the road. I learned that a slightly burnt valve can be lapped in with enough effort and lapping compound, and the quality of lapping tools varies greatly between brands. I also learned that you always put a new tube in it when you change the tire. Don't be putting 20-year-old tubes back in your bike if you're going to take it on a 1,000-mile trip.
John, what'd you learn?
This is like a show and tell. Let's see, what did I learn? Honda engines are pretty amazing, even the old ones. The thing still doesn't leak any oil. It's got lots of high end, and it's a challenge to ride a rigid with back brake only and an extended front fork, but it is a kick in the ass. That's right. So that's what I learned, is a kick in the ass.
You gonna do this again?
Yeah, I would do it again. I'd do it again on the Honda. I would.
We're gonna do it again with some machine in a year, right?
Right.
All right. Tyson, we can do this again?
Oh, absolutely.
Until we're too old to do it?
That's right. But
All
I'll
right.
bring.
Well, don't bring that up.
I'll bring a valve with me next time.
Yeah, what are you gonna bring next time?
Well,
If you could have one thing that you forgot at home, what would it be?
I'll bring my fancy new rented, but now mine, spring compressor.
Oh yeah. Oh, we still have the rented spring compressor.
And maybe an exhaust and a intake valve for this if I bring this bike again, which I'm sure I will.
First time I traveled without a tent. I've camped a lot without a tent, but first time I left home without a tent. And, that's not bad. You can do fine without a tent. Run without a fender and without a tent, you just are a lot more conscientious about rain. So, and I don't have a problem with that. The rises on your priority list. If you don't have a front fender, and if you don't have a tent, you pay more attention to rain. Yeah.
It's more fun if you planned ahead. That's what we learned for sure.
I think that's probably true. I feel the same way.
Yeah, if it's gonna rain, prepare for it before it rains.
Find camp early.
Yeah, find
set
shelter.
up Tarp City
Find
early.
Shit goes bad, go to the bar, have a beer, figure it out.
And there's probably somebody that give you some good information.
That's
and
right.
might even assist you in your needs.
That's right. Well,
We got a lot of good information from the bar. We found shelter in the wind at a bar when they let us sleep in their
little
shed.
storage shed.
Yep.
Yeah, the shed,
We met the guy that gave me a ride from Belt to Great Falls
Yep.
in a bar.
Yep.
I'm sure other things happened at a bar.
And what did you learn, Jesse? Huh?
I learned this shit is fun. I learned that I want to do this until I can't anymore. I learned that you never have someone rebuild your transmission if you can do it yourself. And if you're in a hurry, sometimes it takes longer for them to do it than you can do it yourself. I learned that this is good. I learned that, as you guys said, this country is full of wonderful, wonderful human beings who are willing to put themselves out, who are willing to take time out of their day to make sure that you're okay, especially when you're out there vulnerable on these old machines. And maybe I didn't learn, but it just re-solidified that this shit's fantastic. If you haven't ridden an old motorcycle across the country, try it. Yeah, I can't tell you how cool it is, how much fun it is, and what the reward is when you make it back to where you started from, when you succeed and when you don't have to get that fucking U-Haul to take you back to where you started from. The feeling of accomplishment and the feeling of camaraderie that you build with the people that you do these trips with is just incredible. That's what I learned.
I hate
And-
both of your guts.
And,
There's no camaraderie.
and with that sunset, we'll do this next year.